The Caitlin Clark effect. Thank you very much.
I am Jambari Moreau. This is She Shoots, She Scores, episode number 5. We got Randy in the building.
What's up? What's up? Excited to talk my trash this week as per usual.
We got Tasha in the building. We also got Q in the building.
Let's get this party started, man.
You heard her. Let's talk.
I'm feeling sensational. Let's go.
Let's go.
Sensational.
The Spark won their second rematch between them and the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark scored an impressive 30 points and had a career high of 3 blocks as well. In spite of this, the Fever took a W. But DJ, we're gonna start with you. What were your thoughts on the rematch between the Los Angeles Spark and the game? What are your thoughts?
So, my thoughts are this. So the Fever picked up a loss, and for the simple fact that was a tough game to watch. So tough in the sense that I don't know how America felt, but this is how I felt watching the game. I felt it was Caitlin Clark versus the Los Angeles Sparks. And when I say that, I mean not that she was playing by herself, but it seemed that there were a lot of things working against her. She was taking out early in the third quarter when she was rolling, and the team actually started coming back. They stormed back from halftime, which I thought was impressive. Caitlin, for the most part, she scored 30 points. Defensively, she was active and alert. She had 3 blocks. She had 3 steals. She played great help side defense. She was the 4th player in WNBA history to ever record a stat line of 30 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and 3 blocks. So for just that simple fact alone, and this is her 8th professional game, we know that her impact is there. So she's a huge bright spot for the team. Now, like I said, the reason why I said it was tough to watch is because watching the game, you see that she has to do a lot offensively, defensively, and that's just for them to even have a chance. She shouldn't be getting, it's great that she got 3 blocks, but she shouldn't be having to get 3 blocks in a game.
I said it before in the beginning of the season. She has to evolve her game, and she has to corral the rest of the team. And you can see, it's evident during the game that she was playing high energy. She was bringing the heat, bringing the pressure, and she wasn't settling for threes. She was being aggressive and getting the best shot possible, which ended up opening the floor for the rest of not only herself but her team. So, as we said in the beginning of the season, she's going to grow with the game, and we see it here. I love to see the layups. I would love to see a little bit more mid-ranges. I could see some adjustments that the coaches are making because she's passing it out quicker, trusting her teammates more, and when that ball goes around, it comes around. So I love to see it, man. I want to see more of it.
It is interesting to see, they're in this position. They're at 1-8. She looks despondent at post. She looks like she's not having a miserable time, but she wants to win. She's trying to stay positive, but she wants to win. And, I can just see that it's killing her. We're going to talk about if she's going to win her next game or one of her next games against Angel Reese pretty soon. But it was a tough one to watch. It was great to see her go for 30 in her first game, obviously, but it's a little bittersweet because you would want her to pick up the W. Aaliyah Boston chipped in with 17. One thing I don't understand, Q, and I'll kind of kick this to you after in a few seconds. I don't see how Alyssa Smith wasn't. She was on the bench and she got limited playing time. Now, rumors floating around on Twitter, etc., Facebook about Alyssa Smith's mother talking about how her daughter's not getting playing time and this, that, and so forth. I have no clue. But what I will say is this. Obviously, I put her as one of my most improved players for this year, and she had a very strong preseason to begin with. I don't understand why they're not trying to get her rolling and trying to do more involved to get her rolling. They have to get more creative with their play sets. They have to get more creative with their high pick and rolls. Let this girl work, and then let's get some action going. He had some great flip action going with her and Kelsey Mitchell. But they need to get more creative. They have to get more creative because this team has a lot of potential, and they should not be 1-8. And I'm not saying that Christy Sides is a bad coach or anything like that. I think she's a great coach, and haven't had much time to practice, et cetera, and so forth. But everybody needs a win. They're itching for a win, and they keep getting in these close games. So it's just like they have to get it together, and I feel like they will. I'm not sure when, but she was the number one pick for a reason. So I mean, obviously she's on a bad team.
She obviously outplayed the other rookies in her draft class. Um, Even though she didn't get away with the win, this is something that was kind of foreseen because she did go to the worst team, and really I think it just comes down to like personnel. Obviously, like you said, she's having a tough time with these losses because she's pretty much been winning her whole entire life, right? So losing like this back to back to back to back to back, that's some adversity that she's never faced before, especially since she's on the ultimate stage for women's basketball. I believe I can imagine that's a tough cookie to swallow. Um, but like I said, it just comes down to personnel. So not always be like the talent from like athletic standpoint or anything, but just the chemistry. And so we've seen just one or two players can change the whole dynamics on a team. One or two different assistant coaches or head coaches can change a whole um, scheme in the offense that make players that were seen as bottom tier players or players who were struggling to find wins to winners and champions. For her, she has to keep in mind that even though this is really tough, it's not so much are they winning or losing, it's how they're winning or losing that you can take away because nobody's expecting. I don't know. Were you expecting them to win the championship before the season
No,
started?
of course
All right,
not.
so you probably with thousands, if not millions, of people watching, weren't expecting them to win the championship. The key to winning more, you got to hate losing more than you like winning. That's how you win
Of
more.
course, of course. And I
Yeah.
think that Caitlin Clark, she can't keep up with the performance of playing both offense and defense. She's gonna wear herself out by the end of the season. So, and when I say that, is like, is there trouble brewing in Indiana with?
Yeah, that's what I was mentioning with Alyssa. Like, I'm not sure what's going on with that, but she got 18 minutes of playing time, and this is a starter. So she came off the bench last game. So I'm not sure what was going on. Like as I mentioned
And
the
that was the coach's call, of course, right? Like, why would they?
yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there. What is going on there? When I'm gonna ask her about that or see if we get some sound about that later. Just I'm not sure. That was a little odd. I still think it's a little odd. So and then again, she was an honorable mention for a top 25 WNBA player. And again, she was their leading scorer in the preseason. It just very odd. I know. I
And if
mean,
she's the rookie, the vets need to go ahead and step up. And they see her, if she's doing everything like what I said, she can't continue going on this path. So what are the other four players are gonna do? What are they gonna do to step up?
Think about how they feel from the standpoint where this is literally like the biggest rookie that the WNBA's had in a while. And everywhere she goes, people are writing, "Oh, she's your guys' meal ticket. She's the reason why you guys got chartered flights, this and that." And the pressure of making sure that, all right, from a fan standpoint, that people see this girl because that's who they came. That's what a portion of the people who are watching these games comes to the games are wanting to see. They're not looking for the 12th person on the bench. They want to see Caitlin Clark. Um, and I think it's they're just learning. You gotta learn how to be comfortable in that kind of situation. Not even to cross over to NBA, but think about what the vets were thinking when LeBron came to Cleveland
hmm.
during his rookie year.
Yeah,
It's a lot. That's a lot to deal with on and off the court.
yeah, yeah. For me, it's a lot of pressure for one person. Her name holds a lot of weight, but it's unfortunate that she got that as a rookie. She has to carry the team like that. So the Chicago Sky and the Connecticut Sun faced off with the Sun becoming victorious. Nevertheless, Alyssa Thomas was ejected from the game for throwing Angel Reese to the ground. That was a hard foul and it was really uncalled for. So was Alyssa Thomas' foul on Angel Reese a dirty play?
Let me just say this: it shouldn't be in basketball, and we're actually gonna. We'll just go there. So the play shouldn't be in basketball. I don't think Alyssa Thomas is a dirty player, meaning like she wanted to kill Angel Reese or leave her quadriplegic. But I mean, that's essentially what could have happened from a play like this, which is why I say that's not a basketball play. It shouldn't be in the game. She didn't even get suspended, which again, the W took into account. They said that she's good, but she's had a history of some shaky plays as well. Like me and Candace Parker, quote unquote. Connecticut is 6-0, and we're going to talk about a big reason why. In addition to Alyssa Thomas being Dijonai Carrington, but it was just I didn't think that was a fair and called for play, and she got ejected, obviously.
I mean, you mentioned the Candace Parker play, and if for a majority of the people, if she's not already looked at as a dirty player, with play styles or plays like this, and the one on Candace, if that kind of thing continues, then that's the reputation she's gonna have, because there was no reason for her to choke slam Angel Reese like that. She was watching some WWE with that move. But you know what I will say? I do like how Angel Reese responds to whatever adversity she's being thrown at so far. I like how vocal she is. She promised us that she'd be vocal before the season started. And all she's doing since that promise is fulfilled it by showing us her toughness. She's being outspoken, with saying things like, even being active on her Twitter account, letting us know that she's all right and that she's good and stuff like that. So I mean, shout out to Angel Reese.
So this is, and it was just crazy to see that even Angel Reese was able to live through this adversity. These were her comments about the whole Alyssa Thomas being thrown.
She's so mature. She took it, and what I would call, she alchemized that. She took a negative situation and she turned it into a positive one, and she made it work for her. So cheers to Angel Reese for just go ahead and not taking it personal. That's number one. She didn't take it personal. And number two, she used it to her advantage.
She also remained humble by saying, like, they don't care that I'm Angel Reese. Like, I'm a basketball player at the end of the day. This is what we do. This is what we're doing. We're going to war. So I expect it. And she not only expects it, she welcomes it.
Yeah. She
It kind of reminds
embraced
me.
it. Took it. Yeah.
When D Wade broke Kobe's nose and D Wade hit him up on the side saying, I'm sorry, and Kobe was just like, I love it. Like,
Yeah,
that's the same vibes.
competitive.
Real warrior. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Alyssa Thomas, Mollywopped my bay. Oh man, Alyssa Thomas. Look, it's expected, man. The sport is it's not an easy sport. It does get physical at times, and it was unfortunate that it happened to Angel Reese, but it's basketball, and I loved her response by saying, she doesn't expect them to roll out the red carpet for her. It's the WNBA, and she showed appreciation to the vet Alyssa Thomas and thanked her for letting her know where she stands and how to approach the game. So, granted, it was a little rough. It was tough to watch because she did go down the first play, and then to go down the second, it was a little excessive. But her attitude to get back up. Fall down. What is it? Fall down 7, get up 8. That's a winner's mentality, man. Don't let anything hold you back. And as I said, great response from Angel Reese. Same reason it was being tough on LeBron, man. You can see it in all the highlights. Nobody appreciates the new kid on the block, man. You have to show your worth before you have to earn your dues. It's simple as that. It happens in every league. The vets always need to see what rookies have that heart, have that dog in them, and need to prove themselves. And that's all it is, man. It's the way of the league, the way of the dub.
Amen.
Shout out to the future rookie of the year.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see.
All right. So, what factors are contributing to the Connecticut Sun's successful season?
So I think honestly, I'll say a huge one is Alyssa Thomas. The fact that she's very physical, and the other fact is Dewana Bonner. So the two of them are in their prime and they're ready to win. They keep coming up short, but this year they're the only undefeated team in the WNBA. They have the best record at 6-0, and it does not look like they're backing down from anything. They're physical, as you can see. They rebound well, they pass well, they play great defense. They're coached well by Stephanie White. I mean, they have a great team. They got their point guard is amazing. You name it, they have it. And I mean, again, the Connecticut Sun is a very physical team, and they're ready to win. So, and I think this year in the WNBA, anybody's up for the taking. So, we're going to talk about this. The New York Liberty haven't looked the best. Las Vegas lost the game. Obviously, we didn't expect them to go undefeated, but it just means that anything can happen, is what we're seeing this year, including a rookie going 1-8. So, but just anything can happen. So, I think that this season it'll be very interesting to see where they go. But the sky for them is the limit. So.
I
And Q, how can
think
they maintain their momentum? Q.
I think like how Deej was saying, they're locked in. Hate losing more than you like winning. It'll fuel you to want to win more. So just the pains of coming up short in the past couple seasons, watching other teams win back to back titles. If I'm not on those back to back teams winning the titles, I'm looking at that and I'm angry. Like I'm mad. I'm fueled up. I want to when I get the opportunity to step on that court, I want to play with my all, and that's what it looks like they're doing. They're hitting all the right cylinders, even though it's the beginning of the season. They're hitting all the right cylinders. Um, is it something I can foresee them maintaining? God forbid, no injuries. Yeah, they're going to be really really tough down the stretch into playoffs with the Aces losing. Like do you say, I wasn't expecting them to go undefeated, and I think that one game that they lost, they definitely could have won. Unfortunate turnovers and some shots that rimmed out, some crazy shots that rimmed out that could have went either. It could have went either way. Liberty, some teams they don't start out oil hot. It takes them a little time to get everything pumped and get everything going. So even with the Liberty, I do expect them to get their things together, their act together. Hopefully, especially if they want to contend for a title and knock off the Aces and not give up that three-peat.
So, I'm going to ask you this question, Q. Does Enrique have the chance of winning MVP this season?
My MVP pick
Is
was
Angel Reese?
Asia. No, Asia for MVP. And
Oh,
so,
okay, okay.
like, the bias in me wants to say, hell no, she ain't got no chance. But, if, I'm a fair man, you know, and so I'd be delusional to say that she doesn't have a chance. She's playing, out of her mind. Um, so I mean, she even has a chance to win scoring champ as well. I think she was. Deej, was she your MVP pick and scoring champ, or just your scoring champ?
So she was my scoring champ and Randy's scoring champ. She's also Ryan Howard is my MVP pick, she'll be on a mention list, honorable mention list. But Arike, she's absolutely on that.
I'm not surprised. I called it out at the beginning of the year. I said she was going to go for the scoring title when given the opportunity, how players step up. And Arike was one of the ones that we had the spotlight on in the beginning of the season. And you could see that she was prepared, man. She's been in the gym, she's been logging in the hours, and you can see it now. She's shooting at a high clip, she's playing well, and she's not allowing anybody stop her. And she's taking that opportunity that they gave her, and she's squeezing every bit of water out of that, man. And I love it for her.
Yeah, she's gonna get some votes in my eyes, but
No, she might win the award. So if I don't know, but I think so. Arike, this season Dallas is 3-2. They're in
right.
they have the fifth best record in the WNBA. This is without their all-star Satu Sabali. So Satu Sabali is a top 5, the top 7 player. Arike is great, and the fact that They don't have her, and they're still in the 5th spot. They picked up major road wins like against Los Angeles, like against Phoenix and Kalia Copper, who also is an MVP player. And this year, Phoenix was the only team that defeated Las Vegas. So they're the reason why Las Vegas has the first loss, which is why I was like, okay, there's something there. And then Dallas just closed that door and said, no, we're better. And that's without Satu. So once they get her back, they're also going to get back another rookie in Jaylen Brown, who is an explosive rookie. She can shoot. She's a lefty. She can do anything off that dribble. Like, she's a great player. And then the fact that Natasha Howard, who broke her foot early in the year, she's also will be coming back. So, and the reason why I think Arike has a huge chance to win this award is if Dallas can rack up enough wins as if they're doing, she'll have the numbers. She's averaging 30 points this year. Arike is averaging 30 this year, and it doesn't look like she's letting up. Kevin Durant was at her game in Phoenix, and he was even clapping her up and giving her a praise, just for seeing her play. And I mean, just look at her game. She got step back. You name it, she has it off the dribble. And my favorite part about it too, and her coach spoke about this, is she also gets her teammates involved. She had 5 assists while also scoring 30, similar to another player that I know. And it's just, she, again, step back threes. She can do it off the dribble. It's just her team. She just wills her team to win, and she's easily one of the best clutch players in the game. The last 5 minutes, I talked to her about it too exclusively. And it's funny. I'm going to speak to her again. I don't know if she knew she was going to win MVP, but she's absolutely her play has put herself in that conversation. Right now, her play has absolutely put herself in that conversation. She has absolutely been killing the first half of this year. And in the first 10 games, they have been playing well. So Dallas got a huge opportunity to do some damage this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can see she plays with so much confidence. She believes so much in herself. You can see she exudes this confidence that's on another level. So I think she's gonna win MVP. That's my take on it, based on what I've seen. Look at that smirk. Look at that. Based on what I've seen thus far.
I was gonna say just to speak about a few other MVP contenders. So just a few other ones. We have Nafisa Collier from the Minnesota Lynx. She needs to get more publicity. She's easily one of the best scorers in the WNBA. I mean, she could do a lot of these players are just entering their prime and they're just ready to do a lot of damage. So she has a mid-range game. She can shoot threes. She's good, man. She's a really good player, and she's tall. She can rebound well. She fills up every single box. She can pass. She fills up the whole box score. And she had a 29-10 game earlier this year. Like, Minnesota is easily one of the best two or three teams in the WNBA right now. With her and Kayla McBride, it's just, again, that was tough. Her against Connecticut, that was a nice block. Like, she's a good player. Moving on, the other mentions on this list would be Asia Wilson, who is also a great player in her rate. I mean, she had a 31-point game and like 11. She had a monster game.
Monster.
Yeah, points. Her, Jackie Young, and Kelsey Plum. The Las Vegas Aces are one of the best teams in the WNBA, even though they lost the game. Right, that's how great they are that we judge them when they lose a game. They're going to be fine. They're going to be a fine team this year.
It was just a couple missed shots, that rattled out, man.
So what do you guys think about the performance? It was their first loss. So what do you guys think about their performance and why they lost? How did they lose this game?
Yeah, I did. And this is exactly what Asia was talking about on the first game, that there was a lot of mistakes that were made and people were taking it as a cakewalk. And again, kudos to her for trying to light that fire. But hey, you got to understand, when you're at the top of the mountain, you have a target on your back. And you could tell Asia's in that mentality of, I'm not settling for less. She wants to win. She wants the three-peat. She wants it, and she's just trying to light the fire under the players. So hopefully this loss is a turnaround for the players and a good wake-me-up call.
Kalia Copper going crazy. Diana Taurasi having fun. But, I mean, it just, maybe they're not as focused because they didn't think that this was a team that, again, the Phoenix Mercury were a team that took a lot of people by surprise early. And a lot of people are not, or Sophia Cunningham rather, a lot of people are not, they're not backing down. But yeah, Kalia Copper went crazy. I believe she had 38 points that game, or 35 plus.
Yeah.
Like, it was the second time that she went for a 30 plus game, and that was in back-to-back performances.
She's a dog. She's a dog for real.
Yeah. Her back in her Chicago days, but Kali was. I mean, she played well. Jackie Young was getting pissed off. She almost tried to fight Sophia Cunningham in the game. So it's interesting. I mean, again, it happens. They're gonna play again, but it happens. It happens. But
So what went wrong? What went wrong? Did they underestimate or undervalue going into this game?
well, they need Chelsea Gray back. I mean, that's she. There's if they once they get her back, they'll be complete. But I just think that they just lost focus. There's no reason
Yeah.
why she should be going for 30. They put Kelsey Plum as an assignment on Kalia, and she went to work. They were prepared to guard her from the 3-point line because she just as soon as the game started, she just went to work. Like again, 35 point. There's not enough you can say about her. There's not enough.
You know when you're one of the best teams over the span of years, everybody's gonna play you harder than what they usually will play on any other given night. So
Yeah, and no clue what's going on in New York. I mean, it seems like they're getting it together now, but they've had some rough losses early in the season. Yeah, I don't like Chicago beat them, which nobody expected. I believe Minnesota got them for this game right here. It's just been they've been just so like inconsistent with their play. They beat a team like Indiana by 50, but then they lose to a Chicago team. Like it just is.
Like
It's just
what?
very yeah. It's super. So it's
rookie
not
of the
Brianna
year,
Stewart. It's
rookie
not
of the
Brianna
year,
Stewart.
rookie of the
Oh, yeah,
year.
You said rookie of the year.
the
Yeah,
rookie.
what are you talking about?
Angel Reese. But yeah, I mean it's not Brianna Stewart's fault. They I'm not even saying it's Sabrina's fault, whomever, Lainey Hamilton, etc. But I have no clue. I can't put my finger on it, but it's just Connecticut looks like the team to Connecticut looks like they're ready to win the championship, and it seems like New York has gotten complacent.
Dijonai Carrington is one of the league's leaders for most improved players as her Connecticut Suns are undefeated. So my next question to you guys are Arike Have and Dijonai Carrington leading the race for most improved player?
Yes, I would say absolutely. Dijonai Carrington is a force. On her first game, you already seen it from Caitlin Clark. She had 10 turnovers, and she has not stopped since. She got into it with Marina Mayberry again in that same game with Alyssa Thomas. It was a lot of physicality in that game. Marina Mayberry told her to shut the front door. Some words that I can't say on this in front of them, but they've always had a history. And the fact that she's not backing down as well, but she is a fire starter and a spark plug. She's always in the middle of drama, not in a bad way, but it just seems like it always follows her because of how physical she plays. And that's as an offensive player and as a two-way defender. She's one of the better perimeter players in the league. Now, obviously she has room for improvement, but I'll say this: she is absolute front runner for most improved player. She absolutely is the most improved player's front runner. Now, another person that I would love to highlight, and I'll speak about this person is Arike Have from the Los Angeles Sparks. It seems like every single game this year that she's played, she's gotten a double-double, and I just thought that was very interesting to see. So between Dierica and between Dijonai, I mean, with Los Angeles, if Los Angeles were winning more games, it wouldn't even be a question about what Dierica's doing. I mean, through this game, she's already had at least 5 double-doubles. She's had multiple 20 back-to-back point appearances. She's averaging at least 20 points and 13 rebounds while averaging 3.8 assists. Last season, she averaged 8.9 and 5.9 rebounds. So, I mean, the fact that she just tripled her averages, it seems like. Dijonai, again, she's averaged almost at least 7 points a game more from her last year. I mean, it's just very interesting to see that the development from her, especially just these two.
I think we should also mention the person we just got done talking about in Clay Copper. Um, we seen her 23 or 2023 averages were 18 points on 44 per field goal, with 40% at the 3-point line. And if you look at her stat line as far as this season goes, she done bumped that 18 up to 25.
Hmm.
Come on, man.
You're right.
Like the two girls we've already mentioned, yes, but we have players like her. I believe we were talking about before we started recording. Naphasia Collier also deserves some love and credit. It's actually a real astronomical season for the WNBA all around. Everybody's performance shot up from
Yes.
what we've seen.
Yeah.
Yes.
And because
So
of that, these women has made the WNBA so exciting. We have a really exciting game coming up. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. It's a rookie showdown that's happening. I'm so excited to watch this game. I know you guys, pretty much everyone is excited to see these two dynamic women go ahead and get on the court together. So Angel Reese with the Chicago Sky and Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever prepare to play on Saturday. So my final question to both of you who will come out on top in this matchup between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark?
I have a feeling that it's going to be a shootout match. It's going to be a hard fought game. Considering the tweet that was deleted, it's you expect to see some fire, expect to see some passion, expect to see some. I wouldn't even say throwback because that was early this year. Just that mentality that they had going into the tourney. It's going to be the same thing. It's one of those games. It's not a playoff game, but it's gonna. I feel like it's gonna look like a playoff game, and I expect Caitlin. Caitlin's a competitor, so she's human. She has to see all this stuff that's being said. So I just believe she's gonna step her game up and go for another 30 piece.
and I do think the Chicago Sky are going to pull away with that win because they're just the better team with the better rookie leader.
Go about better coach.
That's a toss up. Why? Why are we doing that? We talking about the people on the floor.
Oh, okay. I thought it was about no. The coaching matters, obviously.
Yeah, I think it's about even. But
Really, I don't
I
think
think
it's close at all.
okay. Who do you think is the?
And coaching wise, it's Teresa Weatherspoon for sure, without a question. Chicago is one of the better defenses in the league. I mean, you already see what they do. You've seen what you just said with Angel Reese picking the pockets of Breanna Stewart. They do that every night to every single team, no matter who's in the game. Kennedy Carter, Angel Reese, Elizabeth Williams, Dana Evans, who you name it, they're getting the steal in there on the break. They're always. So to answer the first question, who do I think will win? I'm gonna be at the game, and I'm gonna say this: there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna be pissed off because Chicago's gonna walk in there and win, and just for the simple fact that they play really well defense, they play great defense. Um, I'm hoping, obviously, and I'm not rooting for any team, but what I am hoping is that Caitlin pulls off something miraculous and Teresa Weatherspoon don't embarrass her completely because defensively they're gonna cook up a scheme that'll make her look bad or at least try to. So for the two-time defensive player of the year, the former defensive player of the year that Weatherspoon was, it's not gonna be. She gonna. I'll say this: if CC were playing for the Chicago Sky and it was flip flopped, I would go with Chicago without question. Like we talked about this last episode. Caitlin would be a monster. She'd be coached by Weatherspoon because it wouldn't. All those turnovers would be they'll be gone. She ain't gonna be having like all of those bad habits, like yelling at the ref. That's one thing she everybody does that, especially at that. So and that's the beauty of her game is that she's still effective and she can still grow so much. The eighth professional game, she's had a stat line only 4 people have ever had in WNBA history. The fastest ever to 100 assists, 100 points and 50 assists in league history. So that they're like her criticism. If you criticize her, it's like don't get it twisted. There's a lot to positives for her. Same thing with Angel Reese.
So what do you think the numbers are going to be?
You already know I'm always going. My average is 20. You got to say 20 for her. But I already know Weatherspoon is thinking more like 9. It's Weatherspoon thinking like 9, 11, some teen. In my mind, I'm like 20.
Like realistically, what do you think
I'm hoping 20. I'm hoping she could pull off 20 and like 4 or 5 assists, maybe. Because it's about limiting all you got to do is limit the others. That's it. It's only 20 points she's gonna give you. She scores in flurries. It's like Steph. So as long as she's not getting the other, this is why I said it's the coaching thing. I'm not blaming Christy's sides, but I'm like, if you're limiting her passing, because she's giving you 6 assists a game. That's good. You want to put up 20 and 10 as a rook? I mean, like, you have to get the other people. The other people have to get going. Alyssa has to get going. Aaliyah has to get, and Aaliyah has started getting going. But they have to get. I need some Grace Berger minutes. Can we please get some minutes for Grace Berger? On the love of God, can we get some minutes for Grace? But I mean, like, they got to get their other teammates rolling. So that's what I'm like. The youth movement in Indiana needs to happen immediately. Grace would need to get minutes, and the other one, I can't think of her name. She's such a good shooter. I would say Lexi. Lexi can play some. I mean, like, the two of them are like they do well. But yeah, man, Chicago I think is gonna win, but I think Kaylin will drop 20. Let's just say that. I'm hoping she's gonna drop 20. She dropped 20 against CC. But you already know everybody in my audience is gonna be yelling at me about CC. Everybody in my audience will be yelling at me about Angel. So that's funny though.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. It's going to be an exciting game. These women are doing something fantastic in the WNBA. Can't wait to see the game. DJ, have fun at the game. Be safe.
Like we do every week, we want to give special shout out to people who make this show happen. Most importantly, that is you, the viewers, the listeners. Without this, we couldn't do it without you. Your views, each share that we get from y'all is another motivation, another push to keep doing this. So special shouts to our listeners in Texas, California, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina, Arizona, Iowa, Illinois, New York, and Pennsylvania. Much love, much respect.
I love it.
Cool. Preach. All right, now I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna hit end, and now I'm gonna show you.
This is another episode of She Shoots, She Scores. We'll see you guys